No, there aren't. They're all just the same with different costumes.
Who could have saw this coming? Who would have guessed? Well, if you haven't heard the news, looks like old Funko, you know, those little bobbleheads of your favorite iconic characters. Well, looks like the head of, the head honcho guy was talking about, like, how they probably won't be able to survive another physical year. And you know what? I to some degree, I feel both ways about this. For one, that's low-key kind of sad. And two, oh my god, this is funny as hell. This is hilarious. You see, the thing is, I always enjoyed Funko Pop growing up. Like, every time I would go into GameStop, there'd be, like, Funko Pop of, like some, like, Marvel character, some Star Wars character, and I would always get them. I would always think they're cool. And I think, like, over time, and this isn't, like, me being, like, jaded or anything, like, growing up, going, like, man, look at this cringe stuff now. Like, I still appreciate Funko Pop to this day. I still occasionally, if I see something cool, I still get one because it's iconic character as a little bobblehead. I still appreciate that. But the problem is the fact that I see people are so happy about this. And my thing is like this. I don't want to, spread the hate on Funko Pop because I think that's that's just not right, and that's not how I actually feel about Funko Pop. But my thing with this, I understand where people are coming from. I can understand why people are very in love with the fact that Funko Pop is finally gone. And I understand, the simplistic design, the kind of just like lazy way they do it. I understand that. But my thing is like this. I only get the ones that I truly appreciate nowadays. Like, whenever I get one, I get it because that's how, much I really care about the franchise or whatever I'm getting. Back in the day, I kind of got just, whatever, to be honest. I remember, I think I had, an Ant-Man and the Wasp Ant-Man. And as much as I love Ant-Man, why do I need an Ant-Man? You know what I mean? And I guess my thing is, with Funko going out of business, I feel so bad for GameStop. They are officially going to go out of business now. And I feel like nowadays, that's all GameStop relies on. And now every time, they're going to be done for. There's nothing there. There's no new games. You heard what I said in the previous GTA video if you watched that.
What brings you in today?
I always follow that up with a just looking around, browse the games until I realize the pop figures take up more space than the Wii U section, and then leave empty-handed.
But my thing is the fact that, I feel like people that own Funko Pop shouldn't be, ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that. I think my problem with Funko is the fact that, over the years, I've seen the fact that they have increasingly and, more and more over time, kind of just, I don't want to say, falling off, because they still do make good ones on occasion, but my problem with the fact that their problem is oversaturation. They have made too many Funko Pop to the point to where it's just getting ridiculous at this point. Because my thing is like this. I think Funko Pop is at its best whenever they target to both wide mass appeal and super niche. And the thing is, they do a shotgun method to where I think Funko's basic and the target audience that they need to do is this. Whenever they do Funkos for brand new movies and stuff like that, they should only do core characters. And for stuff other niche stuff, you should only keep it simple. My problem with Funko is the fact that every time I go into, a GameStop or an exchange, all I see are these glump shittos, these random nobodies. I literally see variations of characters that I don't even know, and believe me, I'm a fucking nerd. I know these characters, so whenever I see a Funko Pop of Glump Shadow turned into a Christmas guy or some weird wacky thing, I'm like, what is this? And that's the problem with Funko, is the fact that they oversaturated the market to where I think they felt like they had the justification to make every single character under the sun. For example, they have a Rainbow Batman, which is in reference to the comics and that one Brave and the Bold episode you probably know. And the problem with this is, as much as I love, that Rainbow Batman suit as reference to the comics, you don't need to make a figure out of that. You really don't. And it just irks me, the fact that Funko kind of just wastes their money on some items and products that they don't need. I mean, yeah, sure, it might look nice. whenever, you know, you show them your Funkos and you go like, hey, look, I have this like very obscure deep cut character, but at some point it just isn't worth it. It just really isn't. Like for example, I think what Funko did good this year is they had just the 3 K-pop Demon Hunters, and that's it. That's all you need. Because I remember one year for one Christmas, I got myself, first off, do you remember Men in Black International with like Temma Thompson and like Chris Hemsworth? So for Christmas, I didn't get any of like the main characters. I didn't get old Chris or Valkyrie. I got the fucking, I got the Glump Shido twin villains or like goons, and that's kind of my essential problem here, is the fact that they literally make nobodies, and that basically saturates the market to where they're just stuck on shelves and never being sold. Like, respectfully, no one's going to buy them. I seriously feel bad for all the GameStop employees that had to put up all of like their Star Wars or like, you know, like Marvel, you know, Funko Pops that no one's going to buy, because it's just depressing. And my thing is, I think I just kind of stopped really caring about Funko. I think, like I said a couple years ago, because I just don't really see a point to getting every single Funko under the sun. I think the last like Funko I truly cared about, and I mean like actually cared about getting, was the Funko Pop Iron Man from Paris and Disney, Peacemaker with Eagly, and maybe one more, but I can't think right now. I honestly can't. And that's essentially my point, is the fact that like I had to have a justified reason. Like, unless I'm like getting it for Christmas or anything like that, I need to think of a genuine reason to get one. I haven't got one on my own since then, and I just don't see a point to it anymore. And also, I just think it's better if people just do like collectibles of like actual like figurines at this point, because it's like you don't have the same articulation. Like, I think the only good appeal about Funko is the fact that they're all the same type of body. And I know people make fun of, oh, you know, Funko Pop, they're all the same, you know, like body and type and all that stuff. That's kind of like the appeal, the fact that you have all these different characters spanning across different, you know, like ages and like eras and like franchises, and they still somehow still have the same archetype. And that's kind of, you know, enticing to some people, and I think that's kind of what got me into that, the fact that they all look the same, and the fact that they could all be from different franchises. Same thing for like with Lego, but at least with Lego, you know, come on. And my thing is like this, I just think that there's a serious problem with Funko, and I honestly do think that this was kind of doomed from the start. If they didn't keep things simple, if they didn't go off the path and make like all these like random nobodies, I feel like they could have been fine. Because the thing is, no self-respecting person will go up to the counter and say, yes, I would like to buy an Alistair Funko Pop from Has-Been Hotel. Be real with me. And I feel so sad, because I feel like there seriously was a thing going with Funko for a good while, but I feel like just recently, and especially with this, it's dark times ahead. Dark times. It will be a tragic shame, because GameStop will officially go out of business, but hey, that's life, I guess. Say hello to Blockbuster, if you will. Alright, that's about it. If you have Funko Pops, tell me like how you feel about Funkos nowadays. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and you know what? Have a funky Funko day.